christiangeekcentral.com. Do you like games? I like games too. I like games too.
Oh, the Quick Trip donut. I've been waiting for this. Man, I've been playing games for like 2.5 hours. It's weird to think that like at 4 o'clock Sunday morning coming up, I'll look back on this time right now and it'll seem like a lifetime ago. It always does. Here's one more game that makes me want Sony to make disc-based backwards compatibility on the PS4. One of those licensed games that is, just because of the licensing, I would think, is unlikely to get re-released. My controller is also kind of dying. It's either my controller or the port. The Player 1 port. And the Player 2 port, I'm not sure. Or maybe both controllers, maybe all of the above. I'm not entirely sure. But every once in a while I'll get a message that says that the controller is not connected or whatever. You know, my PS2, it has long since been on borrowed time. And when it goes, there will be a bunch of games that I won't be able to play anymore. I won't be able to play the Shadow Hearts games. I won't be able to play the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance games, the Champions of Norath, this game. I mean, just a lot of games I really enjoy. Sony's been re-releasing some of those PS2 games, you know, kind of up-resing the graphics just a little bit, you know, just kind of polishing a little bit and re-releasing them so you can play them on PS4. But that's only a select number of titles. For the first time last night I was thinking, boy, if Xbox One keeps going with their backwards compatibility for original Xbox games, Justice League Heroes, the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance games, they came out on Xbox One. I don't think Shadow Hearts did, and I don't think, well, I know that Champions of Norath didn't, because that was from Sony Online Entertainment. But for the first time I was thinking, yeah, I would maybe have a reason at some point in the future to get an Xbox One. I mean, I think probably when my 360 dies, which won't be for a long time, because I bought it, it's one of the last, it's like the last version of the Xbox 360 that they made, so it's the newest one you could possibly get of the 360. So I think it's going to last me a long, long time. But when it does eventually die, I'll probably just get an Xbox One to be able to keep playing the 360 games that I have in my library, and that, of course, will open up some other game opportunities as well. But anyway, I never thought I would be once again considering the possibility, however remote it is right now, which it is remote, of buying an Xbox console again. Oh no! Do I have the hiccups? Alright, here we go. Let's see what we can do. Gotta be very still now and see if they're really gone. I think they're gone. Yeah, Francisco says JLH, Justice League Heroes, I think has become the ubiquitous CGC streaming game. It totally has. It's like my comfort food that I keep coming back to. And no power of hell, no scheme of man can ever pluck me from his hand. When the working day is done, all girls, they want to have fun. All girls just want to have fun. But Kung Fu, I actually didn't own this game. It was the first game I think that I ever saw played on the NES. I went over to a friend's house, and they had this game, and so that's kind of the reason I bought it, is because it was my first exposure to seeing any kind of Nintendo game. We were an Atari family up to that point, and we certainly were never on the cutting edge of new technology, and so, but seeing this really left me with an impression. Oh, get off! Those bloodsuckers! I gotta be getting close. Oh, who's this guy? Oh! You just restart the whole level again. Oh boy, wasn't Nintendo a great console generation? Oh! I can't believe it! Oh, little guy! Oh, boomerang! Where's the jump? Oh, that's right, jump in this game is the up arrow. Oh, that is so lame. Oh! Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know what the secret is. That's what these games are all about. It's just like pattern recognition. It becomes so robotic and uninteresting to me to try and master these games because it all becomes about repetition and pattern recognition. Does that? I mean, just listen to that. Repetition and pattern recognition. Boy, that's what makes a great game is repetition and pattern recognition. Oh my gosh. That sounds like work you do at a cubicle. Oh, Kung Fu! I mean, I guess they gotta make these levels brutally hard because there's only 5 levels in the whole game. Oh! Dang it. Now let's get back to something that I think I'll enjoy. Oof. I'm getting a little bit of a thingy in my face. What I meant to say is, I have a drowsy feeling in my head. Francisco Ruiz asks, who wins in a fight, Joker or Luke Skywalker? I suppose Luke Skywalker, but I would really want the Joker to win. The Luke Skywalker character, did I say that? Luke Skywalker character, I think I said Skywalker. The Luke Skywalker character doesn't do a lot for me. I mean, he starts out as a whiny kid, and then he becomes kind of like, I don't know, he becomes kind of zen in a way that almost kind of feels pretentious or arrogant somehow. I can't quite put my finger on it. It's a really subtle thing, so it's not like I find him irritating, except for, you know, when he's talking about wanting to go to Tashi Station and get some power converters. I just like the character of the Joker. Certainly the character of the Joker is played by Mark Hamill, much more than Luke Skywalker. Who do you think would be the best superhero to have a theological discussion with or to evangelize? Huh. Well, the Spectre. I'd love to have a theological discussion with the Spectre. I would love to have a talk with Superman, you know. I mean, it's an interesting question because it's you know, I don't mean to give gravity to these fictional characters and weight and I mean, they're fiction, you know. But as I think about how they're represented, you know, and I think that's maybe what's kind of at the implied heart of your question is, you know, how are these characters treated? In what way are they treated that might allow for some interesting stories to come out of them when dealing with them in a theological context? And in that vein, I would love to talk to or see explored in writing the theology of Superman, because it seems clear to me that he was raised in a Christian home. There's just been indications of that. I think writers really want to stay away from making too much of a fuss about that, and maybe they feel like that's, you know, we don't want to make his faith, if he has, you know, actual genuine faith in Jesus as a, you know, as a fictional character, you know. I think probably the average writer is not a believer themselves. The average writer at DC Comics. That would be my guess. That's just my impression of the kinds of stories that are told and the kinds of virtues and values and things like that. It's like, yeah, I don't think they're coming from a biblical worldview, you know. So it makes sense that they wouldn't want to do that. But at the same time, here's this character who was raised in Kansas and evokes so much Americana and traditional values and stuff. It just makes a lot of sense that you're going to have him raised in a home with parents that go to church on Sundays, you know. And I think as they've represented that, they usually pick among the most theologically liberal denominations when they say anything about it, like maybe some form of Methodist, I think, is maybe the church he's been attached to. I think it specifically said something about a Methodist church. I don't get the sense that that Clark himself is necessarily a believer, you know. I mean, is there room for that between the lines? Like, in other words, obviously, you know, I'm not getting that sense because the writers are not going to be overt about it because they don't want to do that, you know, for whatever reason that they may have, you know. But could you read between the lines and assume that Clark is a Christian? Maybe. But I think it's also just as likely that he was just raised in the trappings of Christian culture and really never actually came to faith himself. And at some point this discussion all breaks down because you bring in concepts of aliens and the gods that they worship and all that kind of stuff, you know. So, and that becomes like a whole different topic, you know. How would we handle and react to the existence of other alien intelligent life and the beliefs that they may have, or what they've discovered about, you know, the nature of the universe and God and, you know, all that stuff. So, but if I take your question more along the lines of, you know, not treating it as a real discussion that I have, but rather which character would I like to see their theology, their personal theology explored more, it would maybe be Superman, for that reason. Hey, oh, hey, sorry, which way to, okay. Oh, no, don't do that, I was trying to throw a batarang! Hey, just a reminder that this humble little YouTube channel is so dependent on people just like you. There are 3 main ways you can support this channel, and they're all over at spiritblade.com. The first is to purchase one of our sci-fi or fantasy audio dramas. Second is to give us a donation of any amount. And third, you can become a Spirit Blade insider and get access to exclusive behind-the-scenes monthly goodies. You can get more information on our About page over at spiritblade.com. Thanks so much.